we're finally at the end of the War Within, right? And maybe you feel like the game's kind of trickling off right now, not much left to do. You feel like, hey, we're doing Legion Remix because, you know, the retail game itself doesn't feel like there's much going on right now. Well, that's about to change. 11.2.7 is just around the corner. Based on when we're getting player housing and shit, it looks like it's going to hit that first week of December. And 11.2.7 is bringing a ton of shit. If you don't know what's coming this patch yet, you're going to have a lot to do up and until the expansion launches, or at least the pre-patch for the expansion launches. So let's see why the final patch is huge. That's right, from Bellular.
Patch 11.2.7 is Blizzard's chance. Seriously, this patch could bring people back to World of Warcraft for midnight and actually keep them forever, or at least close enough.
Oh, we have a patch, a little launch window. Okay, Visions of the Shadowed Sun, Dark Visions threaten Quel'Thalas, join Arator in warning of the coming war. Well, we're going to get pre-patch shit in here. I didn't know that. I mean, I guess it's obvious that we would, but I didn't know it was going to be part of the opening window here. That means it's going to be pretty early in the patch. Brawlers Guild coming back, and yeah, obviously housing going to be a big feature
to be good news
of 11.2.7.
And I'm serious here, so let me explain what's going on. Obviously, the big feature is player housing, but that is not all, because we're also getting the upgraded Exile's Reach. We're getting streamlined campaigns. And to get everyone talking, for better or for worse, the return of Sylvanas.
Oh, God.
But actually, that is only a fraction of this genuinely giant patch. But first, perhaps the largest change, and this is one that could save WoW for new players, and it is strafing by default. Yes, the A and the D keys, instead of turn your character, they will strafe your character. And listen, the default effect is a seriously huge thing. You know, organ donorship, I know.
Wait a minute, that's pretty big for tanking. I mean, right now, the way I move, and some of you guys complain about this, I use the Q and the E a lot of times, or I'll strafe by holding A and W together and my mouse so the screen doesn't turn. And I'll strafe, right? Because you don't want to give your back to the boss. That'll, you can get your cheeks clapped pretty quickly that way. So that's interesting. That's actually a pretty big change.
Technology goes here. And this means that for a lot of new players, they will get used to playing WoW the right way. That matters. Now, December 2nd is the date for this
Yeah,
patch.
I'm doing it wrong. Yeah, that's what I've been told.
The most important date WoW's had for a long, long time. And not just because of this snazzy little new upgraded cursor. No, there's actually a shitload of features. Now, there is one other thing, and it's more important if you're, say, a Discord user, because Discord got hacked. That's just one of the many stories of data breaches and these security breaches, and even invasive people search sites that are a thing in America.
Oh, shit, that's Discord. Guys, if our Discord gets leaked, the shit that we say in there gets leaked, we're done. We're all about to lose our jobs and be exiled from society. Oh, shit. All right.
And they are
We're fucked.
I use today's sponsor.
Run for the hills, guys.
Incogni helps me fight back. You see, whenever data leaks, data brokers harvest it and they sell it on. It's how they earn money. And if you ever wonder how...
By the way, I hired the volume all the way on this video. It's just a low volume video.
Holders get your number. It's
I don't know why.
Now, Incogni
blame Bellular's editors
by automating all the legal work you would otherwise have to do.
Let us lay waste to this realm.
Jinsey, thank you for the follow. Welcome to a Scourge.
The way it works is crazy because you just enter your info and then it works. That's really it. You see, you've got a legal right to have your data taken down, but that means hours of paperwork and it's not permanent. Incogni, once it has your data, automatically scans brokers, sends takedown requests, and adds you to suppression lists. It does that automatically, and it will consistently rescan the brokers.
This ad in particular is very low in volume.
Just take a look at my dashboard. It's pretty cool. 214 takedowns sent, 1 in progress, 213 completed, and I am on 26 suppression lists, which is pretty damn good peace of mind. And over at incogni.com/bellular, you'll get 60% off an annual plan, so you can also have that.
I'll have to check those out, Eggsy. Thanks.
Of course, the easiest way is to just click that link.
There it is. All right, the warning.
Patch 11.2.7 is called The Warning, and in every way, it is a prologue to Midnight. The story content is rather massive. Sylvanas returns in a quest that has had PTR testers cry with joy. Actually, yeah, really, they've actually done a few good things with her. Anyway, we also meet Arator with his new broed out haircut, and with him, we learn more about the light. And there's a new lore walking campaign, and this one's awesome. It teaches you everything about Quel'Thalas. Blood elves, void elves, the works.
Very nice.
Out for days.
I'm ashamed to admit that I did not do all the lore walking quests when the last time that lore walking, the 3 that they gave us. I didn't do the Zalateth one. What was the other one? I only did the Lich King one. It was awesome. I think lore walking's such a great add to the game. It's such a cool way for Blizzard to tell old storylines, especially like for maybe players that have been playing the game for a long time to kind of get a different visual interpretation of the what happened in the past. But it's really good too for new players who come into the game, don't know the lore at all, and this is like a quick like, hey, you should probably know this because it's about to be relevant in the game, and this is the lore. And anyone who says lore is not important, I think you're tripping, man. I think good lore in the game keeps people playing even through the lulls of a season or a raid. Sometimes if the lore is really good, it'll keep you playing just because you're interested in knowing what the next page in the book has to say. So I think good lore is really important, and yeah, updating people on the lore is important.
Testing shows this is a surprising amount of high quality.
They aren't gone,
content.
I know. I just haven't had time to go back and do them, and there's still the 2 that I haven't done. But yes, they're not gone. I can go back and do them.
So for a single patch,
Until you break it, yeah.
especially a minor patch, that's impressive. But here's the thing, actually. Blizzard knows that context is important to enjoying their story.
Yes.
So for the first time, they're making sure it's available to everyone. And
also, Lore Walker Cho's voice actor, fantastic, man. I love hearing him. I don't know, there's something soothing about his voice. The way he tells the stories is great.
I think to me,
it's just a great
just means
thing
they are
overall, Lore
taking
Walking.
engagement with Midnight's story very, very seriously. That is a good thing. This is almost certainly the largest play Blizzard have made for returning players, pretty much ever. And if you ask me, it is long overdue. The new player experience of WoW has been completely overhauled. Exile's Reach now features Jaina, Thrall, and Rathian, and the story of it connects directly to that of Dragonflight. And upon completion of Exile's Reach, you're immediately sent to Dragonflight. That means no more getting lost and confused in Stormwind or Org. And Dragonflight itself is massively trimmed, where you get all of the patches, you get story mode raids as well. And you'll actually get the whole story, including the patches and the spectacle of the big boss fights. It might be a bit silly, but trust me here, seeing Sarkareth's insane phase transition will be huge for player retention.
Yeah.
Like, it looks awesome. New players.
It does look awesome. And a lot of people, a lot of you decrepit WoW players in my Twitch stream, who've been playing this game for a long time, you'll look at this and you'll be like, yeah, I don't give a shit about the new player experience. I'm not going to do it. And the thing is, you should give a shit about it, though, because it's important for the health of the game going forward. Because us, oldies who've been playing 20 years, 15 years, even 10, 5 years, we're aging, okay? We're an aging people. We got hemorrhoids now and all kinds of issues. We're not those 15-year-olds that started playing this game back in the very beginning. So we need new people to keep joining the game, to keep the game alive and healthy. Because eventually, we're all going to fucking die. Right? I don't know. This game might outlive us for all we know. Or we're just going to have life issues that keep us away from playing. You always got to bring new people in to keep the game healthy and alive. And you bring in new perspective with those new people. So yeah, the new player experience needed to be redone. And from what I've seen so far, they did a really good job in redoing it. It looks like it introduces people to the game in a proper way.
Never seen a spectacle like that in World of Warcraft.
Sakureth was a bitch.
Huge infight moment.
That's all I have to say about him.
It looks cool. And, well,
but his boss room was cool.
Promises more of the same stuff, especially because it sure does resemble the Midnight expansion. That's the kind of thing that will stick in players' minds, just like, say, the spectacle of the Dimensius fight. But here's the good news. It's not just Dragonflight. The War Within's campaign is also being streamlined. Blizzard calls it a recap. They say it will take just a few hours to complete, and it will take players from 70 to 80 through all of the patches, including Koresh. Blizzard really took their time here.
Great.
And I think they're getting it right. But it ain't just story either. Gameplay for new and returning players is getting better as well. So the last few patches brought in things like the cooldown manager, the highlight system, and the one-button rotation. But now they're tackling something arguably far more important, and that is movement. Whenever you log in, you'll get a prompt to play the game, well, basically properly, strafing with A and D instead of being a keyboard turner. And I'm not joking. It has always been the better way to play in World of Warcraft. I'm
a keyboard turner. I hold the mouse buttons down so my character's head basically stays straight while I'm running to the side, which ends up leading me in a strafing angle. And that's how I've always played. And people complain about that on stream. They're like, Sam, wait, you didn't bind your keys properly? I'm like, no, fuck. I've been playing this game out the box the way it was intended to be played. Well, now with this, maybe I'll play it the right way. Who knows?
Being the default the whole time. Seriously, bad default controls
I wouldn't hold my breath,
are an absolute crime against the game, so I'm glad the Blizzard are addressing it here. They will also be teaching players how to interrupt in the catch-up experience as well. So a lot of good things for the gameplay, and that will make Midnight Dungeons way less frustrating for the rest of us.
Teaching people how to
because
interrupt,
new
nice.
players will actually be trained. So whenever I say this patch could be the biggest in WoW's history for new players, I hope you see what I'm getting at here. It's addressing fundamental problems that have existed within WoW for a long time indeed.
Yeah, definitely.
And of course, it's all happening before Midnight removes combat add-ons, improves combat, and everything else. But as for this patch,
I'm excited
well,
for this stuff.
turns out there's actually way more. So far, I've
The
covered
Brawlers
returning
Guild,
player
all
stuff,
right.
but what about us veterans? Well, the Brawlers Guild is back. It has new bosses, new rewards, new challenge achievements, and you know what? It's been gone since Shadowlands, over 5 years ago. So let me jog your memory as to what it is. It's a series of incredible 1v1 PvE boss fights. And when I say boss fights,
I feel like Brawlers Guild walked so our what are they called? Our Delve final bosses could run. You know, the double question mark difficulty final bosses? Like those are just Brawlers Guild fights in a Delve setting. That's what it feels like. And I love those. I think those are really fun solo content. So if you enjoy those, you're probably going to love Brawlers Guild. So you should go do it when it relaunches.
really mean plural, because usually there's been 20.
I'll dominate
of
these.
them.
I'll one-shot these on stream. If you guys want to see what it looks like to one-shot a bunch of Brawlers Guild fights, just watch me.
Now, these fights are not as involved as, say, a Delve end boss like Kaivessa, though you should think of them as being similar to her, but a bit more simple.
Right.
Now, maybe Blizzard's new bosses will be using some of their modern design thinking, maybe they'll be better than ever before, but real talk, the Brawlers Guild is one of the best bits of side content that WoW has ever had, and having it back is genuinely great news. And here's the genius part. It is the perfect way to practice playing your class with new add-ons.
True.
You know, before Midnight comes in and defangs them all.
Or a way of, you know, playing your newly released Legion remix tune that you just leveled up. Hey, you want to play Shaman in the next expansion, right? So you leveled up a Shaman in Legion remix. That Brawlers Guild, he's totally right, is a great way to kind of practice your max level Shaman. Practice the rotation and everything.
Brawlers Guild aren't your speed. Well, they're bringing back Turbulent Timeways with a twist. You get a ticket to pick one of 4 new mounts, instead of doing it every week for just one mount. We're not sure yet, but it seems like they'll sell them on a time-walking vendor later on, so you'll want to make sure you've actually got the badges, which of course is fine. I'm sure you'll be farming lots of badges anyway, because, well, it's finally here. And I know you've been waiting for a long time. You're happy, I'm happy.
What?
It's Shadowlands time walking. It's actually here. Yeah, okay, I'm kind of taking the piss. I've not exactly been dying for Shadowlands time walking to be a thing, but hey, this is genuinely good news.
That's fine.
Loads of Shadowlands items are...
Look, the thing about Shadowlands is, okay, it has a bad rap overall, but there were some good dungeons in it. I enjoyed some of the aesthetics of it. Revendreth specifically, I did enjoy. And there was a really cool transmog. There was. A lot of the transmog that came out of Shadowlands, there's some good armor sets in there, some good weapons. So yeah, time walking... For that, I'll take it. You know, I don't want to go back and do Shadowlands Remix necessarily, but or Shadowlands Classic, even worse. But I'll take a time walking version of it. Why not?
going to be on the vendor. That means you don't have to farm them manually. Even reputation things, of course, because you can get rep from those vendors. And Blizzard are using it as an excuse to give us some cosmetics we've been waiting ages for. Like a few colors of Uther's updated hammer and more Sylvanas quivers. But that's not all. Because I've got something that will leave you quivering.
Shadowlands Remix, no.
Okay, I lied, it may not leave you quivering, but beyond time walking, they are bringing in another neat thing, which is this expansion's meta achievement. If you do this achievement, you'll get the Gear Grinder mount, and this time there's some interesting housing decor as well. And interestingly, it may be time limited, and I say that because right now, one small part of it requires completing Glory of the Delver. Now that means killing one of this expansion's Delve bosses while it's current, which obviously may not be possible whenever Midnight launches, so be sure to get a kill on Kaivessa just to be safe.
So it's going to be like an AOTC mount just for this season. Interesting.
Though otherwise, it's a full world tour of absolutely everything in this expansion. If you want to squeeze every last dollar worth out of your sub, finish this achievement and yeah, you can pat yourself on the back. And now,
it looks
time
like
for
a
the
cool
big
amount.
thing, and that is player housing. Obviously, one of the major things in this patch is player housing. Actually making your house and your neighborhood is huge. But something's even bigger, and that is decor, because there is an almost endless amount of old content that you can do to get...
Oh, look, he's showing the add-on I told you guys about this morning, Homebound. Yeah, this thing's great. Nice way to track this stuff, because you can get a lot of these items right now from Remix, from retail, just going around doing achievements. This thing will actually show you what you're going to get for each achievement and how far along you are in that achievement.
Decorations for your house, because all this new stuff is just the start. Even not thinking about the contents of Midnight, all professions across the game's 20 years have got housing items.
Pre-watched.
But quite a bit more than that, because there's also achievements, like, say, the Legion Order Hall campaigns. If you want your house to look properly druidly, then you'll absolutely want to go and get those achievements, because they will unlock decoration items. And honestly, that'll keep you busy until the pre-patch is done. There is a huge amount.
Well, did you guys see that Shadowlands portal? You know what I want to do with this? That's because I, how much I dislike Shadowlands. I'm gonna get that thing, lay it on the ground, right? Turn it, lay it on the ground, and use it as a urinal. This way, every day I can walk into my home and urinate directly into the Shadowlands. That's my plan for this. That's what I want to unlock this now. Yeah, that'll be the one Shadowlands item I have in my house.
Unlock decoration items.
Or
honestly,
even better, shit directly into the
until the
Shadowlands.
pre-patch is done. There is a huge amount here. But there's another thing, and that is Legion Remix's final phase. You see, we now know how Legion Remix works. We know tons of decor rewards are going to be added once patch 11.2.7 comes.
Right.
But we don't know what the last phase is, other than Infinite Echoes, because that's what it's called. But we've got absolutely no idea what Blizzard are planning for it content-wise, though it does seem the devs are quite excited about it. There's this one achievement, Cloudy with a chance of Infernals. Will it be raining Infernals from the sky, maybe?
Legion Invasions
also,
in. That's what I expect.
has
That'd be
made
cool.
a lot of comments about the experiment unraveling. Those are our only hints. Here's my guess. I think it will be a period where the game completely breaks, but in a good way.
Yeah.
And that would mean hyper spawns, maybe bosses spawning in Dalaran.
Like way overpowered. I want to see like during this phase, this final phase, like people just go full on God mode. Like, I mean, I'm talking, what were they called? Like corruption mechanic God mode shit. Like everything's broken. You can literally just pull an entire raid by yourself and solo the entire thing. Like that's what we want to see at the end of Legion Remix.
That sort of thing. Basically, the kind of last day of school energy that WoW betas usually have, where at the end of a WoW beta, what ends up happening is GMs come in and they spawn insane amounts of mobs and do crazy things at the big cities, and everyone has a big celebration. So if they can do that in real World of Warcraft, that would be pretty cool indeed.
Sure.
Hopefully, though, it means we'll be able to get tons more bronze for rewards and housing items. Now, I know juggling different versions of WoW with different sets of rules and mechanics is a little bit confusing, so if you want to get in the Legion Remix bandwagon now while everyone's having tons of fun, good news! We made an overview and guide. You can check it out here.
Nice.
It will get you up to speed and save you hours upon hours upon hours.
Yeah, we looked at it.
Just check it out next.
Good video overall. Yeah, it's going to be a big patch. 11.2.7, finishing off the expansion right. He didn't even mention we're going to get the Turbo Boost event. Turbo Boost event returning 11.2.72. We're going to all gear out to the maximum. It's going to be a good time, and getting AOTC finishing out raid and everything else before midnight hits. Nice video from Bellular.